It was April 10th, 1834. Smoke rises above the French Quarter. Not from a battlefield. Not from a riot. From one of the most elegant homes in New Orleans. Firefighters rushed to the mansion of one of the city's most respected socialites. Inside there was chaos. But when they force open a locked attic door, they find something far worse than fire. Chains. Starvation. Human beings hidden away. And the name that would become one of the darkest in American history. Madame Delphine LaLaurie. The perfect mask. To the outside world, Madame LaLaurie was refinement itself. Born into wealth in New Orleans in 1787, she came from an influential family. She married well, elevating her status. By the 1830s, she lived in a grand townhouse in the French Quarter, the now infamous LaLaurie Mansion. There, she hosted lavish parties, crystal chandeliers, silk gowns, politicians, doctors, elite families. Guests described her as charming, polished, gracious. But behind closed doors, rumors spread. Whispers that enslaved workers under her control were treated differently. Too thin, too afraid, too silent. One story told of a young enslaved girl who fell or jumped from the roof while being pursued. Authorities briefly investigated. LaLaurie was warned. But nothing truly happened, because power protects its own. Until the fire. On that April morning, flames erupted from the kitchen. Firefighters forced their way inside. They found an elderly enslaved woman chained to the stove. She later claimed she had set the fire herself. Why? Because she feared being taken to the attic. When rescuers broke open the locked upper room, what they found horrified the city. Several enslaved people were discovered in appalling condition. Chained, emaciated, bearing signs of prolonged confinement and abuse. Some had been restrained for extended periods. Newspapers would later print graphic descriptions, some likely exaggerated, but even conservative accounts confirmed severe cruelty. The illusion shattered in a single afternoon. News spread through New Orleans like wildfire. A crowd gathered outside the mansion. Hundreds, then thousands. Outrage replaced fear. The elite socialite was now a monster in the public eye. The mob stormed the house. Furniture destroyed. Windows smashed. Walls torn apart. They searched for her, but she was gone. Madame LaLaurie had fled before the crowd arrived. She escaped New Orleans by boat. Most accounts say she fled to Paris. Records suggest she died there in 1849. Free, unpunished. No trial, no prison, no public reckoning. And that's what makes this story linger. Not just the cruelty, but the escape. But here's what we know is documented. Multiple enslaved people were discovered confined and abused. Authorities had previously received complaints, and LaLaurie fled immediately after exposure. Today, the mansion still stands in the French Quarter. It has passed through many owners. It's often called one of the most haunted buildings in America. Madame LaLaurie died in comfort, but her name never escaped. It became a warning, a reminder of what power can hide, of how cruelty can exist behind chandeliers and silk curtains, and how sometimes the only thing that exposes evil is fire.